Here we go, yet again.
Gwinnett County tonight, police say a former NFL athlete turned business owner staged a racially motivated burglary at his own business.
When police showed up to the Create and Bake Pizzeria and the adjoining Kaufman's Creamery, they thought there was a robbery in progress.
We were just in the car, we passed by, and then we just saw like a bunch of police cars right here.
The two restaurants were trashed inside. Racial slurs were spray painted on the walls, including the N-word, the word monkey, swastikas, and MAGA.
Didn't you learn from the previous two high-profile hate crimes that you should probably leave MAGA out of it so it's more believable? And not only that, you drew the swastika backwards. Man, sometimes the jokes just write themselves. It feels like we're living in some kind of cartoon world. If America's so hateful, and you have 62 million hateful people who support a hateful president, wouldn't the law of averages suggest that maybe, just maybe, you don't have to fake it? That if you just spend enough time around these people who are so hateful, eventually you'll get what you're asking for?
Kaufman told police the vandalism happened earlier in the day, but the smell of fresh paint told a different story.
If the burglary and the vandalism had occurred earlier in the day like he told us, that paint would not still be wet.
Now, I don't know where this guy came from. I'm assuming his NFL career did not take off or he retired. But this reeks of desperation to stay relevant, maybe to drive traffic into his business. I don't know what the motive was, but it's such a bad look. Big dummy. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say the truth right here. Sometimes low IQ has a literal look to it.
Officers tracked down the business owner, 31-year-old Edon Kaufman, a former NFL player. He was sitting in his truck with a hoodie and gloves on. Behind him was a bed full of newly unmounted flat-screen TVs.
He said that he was the victim of a burglary that occurred earlier in the day and that he was just coming back to the business to retrieve those items. This was not a hate crime. We believe that Mr. Kaufman is responsible for all of the vandalism inside the business.
Why does this keep happening? I'll tell you why. Because there's currency in being a victim. You'll be rewarded if you've been a victim of some kind of hate crime, and we can pin it to racist white Trump supporters. You will be propped up and heralded as a hero for having survived such treachery. But what I can't wrap my brain around is why the people who have the most money, the most success, are the ones perpetuating these fake hate crimes. Jussie Smollett, Erica Thomas, and now this idiot. Hate crimes are on the rise, all right, but we don't want to talk about who's actually committing the hate crimes.
The NYPD makes an arrest in a string of random assaults in Manhattan, including a possible hate crime. Police had released surveillance video of the suspect walking on the street shirtless. Investigators say he attacked at least 4 people this month, 3 of them on August 14th. A 58-year-old man in Chelsea was hit in the face while the suspect allegedly shouted anti-white comments. Police say the suspect also threw a brick at a young woman and hit another with a stick. 33-year-old Todd Lyons is now facing hate crime and assault charges.
See, the problem with the left is they want to have it both ways. They want to pretend like they care about hate crimes, but only if the races match up. So they don't care about the races. They don't care about the hate crime. They care about BITCHUTE. They care about patting themselves on the back and shaming others. I am so fed up with these fake hate crimes to try to draw attention away from real problems. I don't want to hear another word about white supremacy and white people committing mass shootings when you have situations like this.
In St. Louis tonight, there's a $100,000 reward for information in a wave of child killings. Dean Reynolds reports at least a dozen kids aged 16 and younger have been killed in St. Louis since this past spring.
There's a new and heartbreaking fact about homicides in this city. Kids are getting killed. 3-year-old Kennedy Powell was shot in the chest in June eating a pizza outside her home. Kennedy was one of at least 12 children under 17, 6 of them under 11, who've been murdered here since April. At least a 3-fold increase over all of last year.
That's right. While people are faking hate crimes against themselves and everybody's talking about this is racist, that's racist, you got kids being murdered by black people. We got to stop faking this. We got to stop pretending like this doesn't exist. If Black Lives Matter, where are the white liberals with Black Lives Matter signs in their front yards when it comes to shooting in the inner city? They go nowhere near this topic. You know why? Because they have to play by the rules they created, which is you can't criticize black people even when it's warranted because you'll be seen as racist. So that's why they take the low-hanging fruit. There's a white person oppressing a black person. This is easy. I can virtue signal all day long. But when the statistics and the facts come out, they back away, bury their heads in the sand. So while little black children are getting gunned down, maybe we should focus a little bit more attention on the actual issues if we truly care about black lives, and less attention on these fake hate crime hoaxes that are only designed to drive a wedge between the races and cause more division in the country. When will people wake up and realize if you have to fake a hate crime, maybe, just maybe, America's not as hateful as you want it to be?